Hey Zoe, and hey everyone, thanks for joining. My name's Nick Dixon. I am the Security Operations Manager here over at Blumira, and we are talking about how our security operations team does security for our customers.
Awesome. And I know that your team always comes to the table with a good plan. So let's break down for the people how we're going through that today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, little agenda items here. Blumira security team, how Blumira's teams support your needs. And then number two, how we work, easy, effective, efficient investigation and support. And then finally, how you can leverage SecOps, how Blumira's team supports your needs. Yeah, so let's jump right in. So, I've been hearing, in the market, not necessarily just our competitors, but companies in tech, they all do security operations and just support differently. So I wanted to highlight the team behind the curtain, so to speak. So highlighted a couple orgs here. You'll notice some big ones. Obviously, Bosch is huge, and Fortra is a kind of a SIM MDR product. So we have people here that worked for them. We also have Barracuda people, AWS, so large and small orgs. I didn't include some of the smaller ones for sake of privacy, but it's really beneficial in security. I found to like see some of the attack vectors we're seeing at large orgs as well as small. So we have all of those people together looking at the things that our customers are seeing on a day-to-day basis. And then we also have managed service talent. So most security operations members have worked within an MSP. Some of you on this call might be a part of an MSP. Some of you are not, but a large portion of our customers are. So I wanted to highlight, we know your day-to-day struggles and we could resonate with some of those. So we have security analysts that work for MSPs as well. And then lastly, holders of various certificates and degrees. So you don't have to have a degree to work here, but you definitely have to have some certificates, some backing knowledge to prove that you've been in the field before. So you can see, Security Plus, a couple universities in there, SANS University, Technology Institute, as well as Black Hills. So a lot of prestigious orgs that we've taken part in their trainings, and we're always joining trainings and learning about like the cutting edge of security because, as we all know, security is ever evolving. So it's really important to stay on top of some of those things.
I know that we here at Blumira internally have a monthly meetup that is basically all the security nerds across the organization. And I love that pretty much every month when we do that, somebody has a new research project they've been working on, a new certification that they've been going after. And that's always neat to hear how people are kind of always trying to level up further.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, like I said, like there's always something to get your hands on in cybersecurity. There are a lot of free courses out there. I threw Black Hills on there, just like a not paid advertisement plug for them. Like they do a great security program, training program that you can take advantage of. It's like a pay whatever you can type of training. So it's really cool to like get the fundamentals of security through those types of trainings.
And shout out to Backdoors and Breaches.
Yes, yes. Shout out to them as well. So going back to what I've kind of heard in the industry is like, wow, your guys' approach to working with our team is a lot different than some of our other vendors. No shade to them. They probably do great work, but I wanted to highlight some of the things that we've heard from our customers that were approachable and personable. So obviously we're all trying to be as friendly as possible. I'm going to probably say this about 8 or 9 times, but we serve as a seamless extension of your team. We truly feel like our customers are our part of our team. So when you are like looking at something and you need a second pair of eyes, we're here to help. And I hope that we can, work together to solve the thing that you're looking at. Customers have also stated that they feel like they can rely on us in high stress situations. So not every time you reach out to us does it have to be a incident or something really bad. We can help with basic things, and we also help with high stress situations, such as breaches, which might involve like incident response and things like that. So Approachable and personable, fast and accurate. Bear with me on these stats. They're true. Our security operations team averages a 1 hour first response time. The numbers are there. You might not believe it. It's true. Most tickets are solved within two responses, except, those bigger, high stress incident scenarios. Most of our questions are solved within two ticket responses, which people appreciate. And then the third bullet point there, customer CSAT for this year is at 100% satisfaction. We don't like to advertise that because people are like, yeah, right, whatever. And I will say that we don't always get a survey back on some of our tickets. You open a ticket really quick, solved, done. Maybe you don't submit a survey. We like you to. It's okay if you don't. But the ones that we have received, 100% satisfaction. And then lastly,
I did crack up when we got the update that we were kind of happy at one point that it had dipped to like 99.8 because it was more believable, even though
yeah.
we were actually reporting the accurate number.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to have like a sort of believable number if it's under 100%.
Yeah.
And then yeah, if you want to get us down to 99.8, if you ever see a ticket with me on it, just throw me a bang. I can take one or two, even if I did great job. And then lastly, the specializations within cybersecurity. So going back to my previous slide, like you can see, like we have different specializations with, universities or trainings. We also have people on the team that specialize in multiple different areas of cybersecurity. So vuln management is different from threat hunting, which is different from security architecture, and everyone on the team seems to have a focus into what they want to pursue or get better at. So if you have, let's say, a ticket where it's like, hey, I found out my Exchange server is vulnerable, we might have someone to actually reach out to you and work with you. Even though I think everyone else could do it, it's nice to have someone with a specialization into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on, how Blumira SecOps works. So, wanted to show a slide of everything that happens before you reach out to the SecOps team. So, I know there are some companies that have like a eyes on glass approach. They're looking at all of your logs before you even get to see them, and then they send over whatever they think might be bad. So, we have a lot of automation in between those steps. So, obviously, number one is log collection. You send us your logs. Number two, we analyze the logs automatically. We match them against signatures. We match them against various ways we build detections or conditions. And then we surface the findings to you. And then third, we have automated response. So we do have automated blocking on a lot of our detections. We also have playbooks, which we call workflows because we decided to rename everything. And then,
Branding.
yes, branding. And then lastly, SecOps support. So that's where we come in. If you're looking at a detection and you're like, I do not know what this means, even though there's a playbook attached to it, I might need a little help with this one. That's where the SecOps team comes in and is again like that escalation point or that extension of your security team. Even if you don't even have one, you pretty much, if you bought Blumira, you bought a security team. So pretty good investment there.
Right.
Couple things at the bottom there I wanted to highlight. Obviously, the 1 year data retention is great. Managed detection, so we built detections for you. We can modify them as you need to. And then the 24/7 SecOps support, that's where we come in. And then the response playbooks are the workflows, and then automated response, which happen automatically.
So one thing before we go to the next slide, Nick, that I think would be helpful to explain here during that data transformation stage, I know
Mhm.
when I was coming in and getting up to speed on our technology, I had a little bit of learning to do about like the ingestion and normalization that happens. What's happening during that phase to kind of make that data more functional for folks as they're interacting with it in the platform?
Yeah, great question. So we allow customers to send us all syslog data. So if you send us syslog, we have fields built in already which match those logs to those fields. So it all becomes a readable format, even if it might not be exactly like, let's say you're sending us, let's say OSSec and another syslog, let's just say WatchGuard. So those are two very different products. We have the capability to ingest those and put them in a readable format with fields that you want to see and learn more about. So really, really cool dynamic way of analyzing logs.
Yeah. So it's like if in one log source it says source IP and in another one it says IP address and in another one it says device IP, but all of those are referencing the IP address of the system that is sending those logs, we're able to kind of match that so that you can run a report across all of those.
Totally, yeah. And
Yeah.
then you bring up a good point too. We have the investigate feature, which allows you to just type in the IP and see all of the things that happen with that IP, with all of those useful fields you need to investigate a security threat. Yeah, so another little step-by-step guide into what happens before you get to the SecOps support. This is a example of maybe of more highly important security threat. So we have the 24 by 7 monitoring, so automatic monitoring. We detect things that are bad in your environment. We notify you however you'd like, whether it be email or phone call, text. Then we prioritize it. We send you through a guided response, those workflows or playbooks, as people call them. And then if you get through all of those things and you're still like, I need some eyes on this, I need help. We have the 24 by 7 SecOps where you can give us a call, leave a voicemail. We'll call you back within an hour, and get on a phone call with you or a screen share, whatever you prefer, and help you get to a remediation point.
Yeah. And I know that our goal is for customers to have as few rough days as possible, but we also recognize that even with the best strategy in place, sometimes you're going to have a rough day. And I hesitate a lot of times to reach out to support because I anticipate being on the struggle bus for a good long while trying to get a resolution. So I do want to get into like strategy and tips that you've learned from working with customers, but first, I think, can you walk folks through like we're all very familiar with security frameworks that we use to build our strategy. Do you have a framework for engaging in a support call?
Absolutely, yeah. If you go to the next slide, I think I get into it a little bit more. So we have this smile method, which is our way to show our empathy. We truly are a friendly group of people that just want to help get you through a security incident. Sometimes, you might feel unheard or maybe not even cared about when you reach out to some security vendors, not even just security, just technical vendors in general. I know I have. But here's what we came up with, the smile method. So we set the tone for a positive interaction by using the customer's name and then offering an apology for the problem. So obviously you don't want to be in the situation you're in when you're reaching out for security operations help sometimes. And then we make sure we understand the situation. So I know when I'm in like a frantic security moment, I'm pretty short on the keyboard. I'm not being too verbose. So we kind of dig in and make sure we understand what's actually happening from your perspective before we start drilling through the logs. And then we identify the issue, and then we lead you through the problem and the solution. And then we obviously end with a nice message. Even though, these are high stress situations, we still can read the room and understand that, like, hey, maybe you're not in the most happy, friendly mood right now, but we want to just showcase that we're here for you and want to see the incident through.
And certainly, incidents may be some of the most dramatic response supports that we support.
Mhm.
But what are some of the other things that folks reach out to your team for?
Yeah, sure. If you hop on to the next slide, I think I have the common types. So we have feature requests. So we are a growing SIM. So there are obviously things that people notice are like, hey, I'd love to see this in your SIM. We track those. And then if we get another ticket with your request in it, or you've already requested something we've heard about, we'll tag your ticket with that request. And that way our engineering team can prioritize those requests as needed. We'll evaluate them and see how many requests we've gotten or how important they are, and integrate those into the product. That's how we work with the product team. General support, so just general, where do I go to see this log? What field do I need to look through these logs? That's just general support for us. Our number one is security expertise. So this involves those finding questions, cybersecurity best practices. If someone says, "Hey, I saw this in the news. Do you have a detection for this?" We hear that a lot. We help with those things. We also like show you what other detections might help if that attack were to occur. And then same with security incident help. I keep saying like we help with security incidents. Those aren't very common. Most of the things that we help with are finding questions where it's like, hey, what happened leading up to this finding? That's a lot of our day to day is like building a timeline for our customers. We also have usability issues, so detection filter configuration. I mentioned modifying your detections. You can do it as well. Filtering out things that you know about that you might not necessarily want to be alerted about. So we have detection filter help, automated host isolation help, and then of course bugs. They happen. You hate them, we hate them, but we got to categorize them and get them fixed for you somehow. And then, so I wanted to highlight this. This is one thing that we don't really advertise, but I think our customers really love it. We started doing this, I want to say about a year and a half ago, proactive outreach. So I included a screenshot from our Blumira Briefings podcast. Thank you, Zoe. This isn't exactly what we look at on the internal side, but our internal side includes some org stuff, some org specific stuff. But this kind of gives you the gist of what we look at every single day without you knowing. We get to look at common findings occurring within an org. So let's say we see for an org, one org specifically, 20 failed logins within a short time period. We'll reach out to you and say, hey, I'm not sure if you got to log into the portal or checked your email today. Just wanted to let you know we saw this person with 20 failed logins. Maybe go check it out if you don't know about it. And then, we close the ticket or help you through it if you need to. We also have just like this is the broad view of all of our orgs, all of our customers. So if we see, at number 10, which is a new one we covered in our previous Blumira Briefings podcast, Mac OS unsafe file permissions. This is new. It jumped up this week. Um, we might dig into that and say, what orgs are seeing this? Is it new for them? Let's reach out and see if there's anything we can do to help with that investigation. And so here are just some of the highlights of what we do. So we do security investigation, obviously, with those findings. We help with remediation. You have the option to give us a call at any point of the day. I love this technical bridge point because I've worked with companies where I'm like, what are you even talking about? So we make sure to communicate clear and concisely so you can, you know, retell the story to people that might not be as technical as you. So you can understand what's going on without being super high level jargon technical. And then obviously we document any security incidents, findings, responses. We have a log of anything. So if you want to dive back into something that happened previously, we're happy to do that.
And then certainly it's not the day to day, every day, but I'm sure folks are curious what our process is when there is a critical incident and they're reaching out for that 24/7 help.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's a step-by-step guide on that. You might be asking, how do I get in contact with them? When is an appropriate time to do so? So you might reach out either phone call, finding comment, or direct ticket. We'll get into those a little bit more later, but you can reach out in any of those ways. We assess the situation. We look at the comments, the findings, and logs. We'll declare an incident if necessary. So when we dig in, we might see like, oh, this looks like an RMM tool, or yeah, like ConnectWise doing something weird that you might not realize what it's doing on the back end. So we don't always declare an incident if we find a false positive when we're digging through logs. So we'll declare an incident. We'll loop in the detection engineers since They are so willing to help us in these high stress situations for our customers, and their plethora of security knowledge is always welcomed. The more the better in that sense. So we investigate the logs to identify any ongoing threats. And then we'll present information recommendations to the customer. And then we provide an incident report if you need it. So sometimes you'll say, hey, I need to bring this to my board. I need to bring this to the IR team. Can you give me like a rundown of what happened? We'll give a timeline. I got some screenshots coming up here just to show you like what it looks like. And then lastly, we export raw logs for customers. Sometimes IR teams want to see these big blobs of logs, and they can search through like for keywords and things. So we'll provide those exports as well.
And we got a question here in the chat asking, is there a dedicated email for SOC support for higher priority incidents?
Yeah, so there's a support form that you can click. There's a checkbox that says, is this related to a security incident? You can say yes, and that will trigger our on-call. We also have a phone number that you can call, and it says, if this is related to a security incident, press 4, press it, leave a voicemail. We'll call you back from the number that you left within an hour, and usually way before an hour, but we'll call you, let you know, hey, we got your message, and we're looking into it right now, and stay on the phone, whatever you prefer.
I know that we go with the conservative hour just to make sure that we've covered every edge case, but I do want
Yes.
to underline that it is typically even faster than that.
Totally. Yep. We've never broken SLA and we've never even gotten close. So uh, that's what it is. Yeah. So clear and concise incident reporting. This is what an incident report would look like if you wanted one. If we did declare an incident and you're like, hey, I need to get a rundown of what happened. So we build the IOC list. We'll show you the hosts impacted. So if you had uh, a bug or a worm or a virus or something like where someone was escalating privilege throughout your environment, we'll include all of the hosts impacted there, as well as like an incident timeline. So, step one, Sally clicked bad email. To attacker gained access to that machine plus these, and so on and so forth. So we'll go through those as well as the recommendations on what to do next.
And we got a question in the chat that I really liked, asking, how does an IT partner ensure that it's Blumira that's contacting us with an issue and not an impersonating party?
Yeah, that's a great question. You can always call us to see. You can always send us a support@blumira.com email saying, "Hey, was this you guys?" Which we got recently, and it was. And then lastly, you can give us a call, send us an email, or just look at the domain, blumira.com. Or support@blumira.com is probably like the best way to do it. So.
Excellent.
Or give your AE a call, your salesperson a call.
Yeah, also another good contact. We like to try and keep a close relationship. So, what are some of the most common kind of questions that you get or advice that you give?
Yeah. So common lessons learned that we see after these, I don't want to just say security breaches. There are findings that we'll get and help with where it's contained, maybe one host got popped, as we like to say, and we contained it right there because you're fast acting or our outreach. A lot of times we'll find that MFA isn't on a lot of hosts. Maybe it wasn't rolled out for recent hosts. Maybe it was forgotten about. So MFA is huge. Forgotten publicly accessible servers and terminals. So we actually have a service here that allows you to see. Maybe Zoe can provide it in the links after this webinar, but we have a service that allows you to see uh, servers and IPs, things related to your domain that are on the internet that you might not even realize are there. Maybe someone did like a change to the administrative interface. Maybe it's super old and legacy. You had no idea. That's why I included Shodan picture right there. Oh, I think so. I see the link pop up now. Uh, so Shodan allows you to type in your domain and see what might be on the internet, as well as like putting in your IP range as well. So those are huge too. Sometimes we'll see those get compromised, and then they'll just leverage from there. Simple passwords, phishing user training. So KnowBe4 does a great phishing user awareness program. I'm sure a lot of us in tech have heard of it. They've been around for a long time, but they're tried and true. I like them. And then lastly, network visibility gaps. Wanted to share a customer story. So I'm talking about the great things we do. Here's our friend Mike over at Ottawa County. If you're on, hi Mike. We love you. So I just wanted to read his quote. We like that Blumira is user-friendly and we don't need a dedicated security analyst to maintain it. For some of their solutions, it would probably require us to have two security analysts on staff. Blumira is well worth the money. And I think the reason why he says this is because, he has a full team of security analysts behind the curtain at Blumira to help whenever something occurs. So, yeah, really great to see that people appreciate, our team and our efforts when something does need attention. And then,
So, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, so we've already gotten kind of one question on it, but can you talk a little bit more about specifically when you're engaging with the team? You can call us, you can email us. If they're working directly in the platform, what can they do?
yeah, so we have a couple different options. Um, we have a finding comment, which is most common. So this bottom window here, what you can do is when a finding hits your portal, you can say, "Hey, SecOps team, I need some help with this. Here's what I think it is. I'm not sure." You don't even have to give us that much detail, but whatever you decide to type it out and hit Add Note and send to Blumira support in that little link there. That'll automatically create a ticket for my team, and we'll respond to you, pretty quickly. We also have emergency phone call, so I left that number there for those bigger issues. You can also leave a general support request through phone. Maybe your email isn't working for whatever reason. You can always call us with general support or an incident. So those two are different. And then lastly, support form on the website. Maybe you're looking at the docs and you're like, I can't find what I need. I need some help. You can leave us a comment here on the support form doc. Here's some testimonials. I won't read them all, but a lot of them have to do with the support team and the SecOps team. I'll just read the one from Chris over at Tullahoma. Your support team has been fantastic and will follow through until the ticket is closed. They are very responsive, genuine, and understanding. Even if it's something on my side, they're still willing to lend a hand. That means a lot. So we're empathetic, friendly, inquisitive, and we just want to see, things get remediated in your environment until you think that they're good to go. So wanted to include that. And so I keep talking about the SecOps team. We also have the technical support team for things that don't involve security. There's a lot of stuff that people might need a hand with, whether it be integrations, um, just general report builder help, agents, data ingestion, things like that. Our technical support team is awesome. We also have dedicated solution architects. So some of you that are current customers on the call might know Dave. You know how smart he is and willing to help with any like infrastructure changes or help you with administrative stuff like Windows admin. And then lastly, we have detection engineers behind the curtain as well, who are writing our detections. If you have an idea for a custom detection, those are the people that are working on those, as well as helping us with those security incidents that I mentioned previously. So there's a lot of people behind the curtain that are helping get to where you need to be, not just AI like we're hearing about, in today's world. There's actual people here.
We do take pride in our human expertise too.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so if you're not a customer, you can try it for free. And we also have a 30-day XDR trial where you get all the features to test out. So you have agents to deploy to machines and see our Windows, Linux, Mac OS detections, as well as firewalls and all the other normal stuff, AV and things like that. So that's great for the XDR trial as well.
Excellent. And we have a ton of questions coming in.
Perfect.
So I want to hop right into them. The first one came from Jorge, who is asking the normalization that you talked about, data normalization, is that happening in real time first?
Yes, it is. Yep. It happens instantaneously. We have a couple fields that show us when we received a log and when we parsed it. So if there is a discrepancy between those two, we'll jump in and figure out what's going on. Let's say we received a log and we parsed it a little bit later. That might indicate a bug, but yeah, we track those things and can tell when something is delayed, but it's all instantaneous. Yeah.
And the incidents reports that you talked about, are those automatically generated? Are they created by our team to support?
Those are all created manually. So we'll go through everything we found during your incident and include anything that we have. Like I said, we have a full team of people behind the stage working on those security incidents. So if they found like, hey, I saw this host doing this weird thing, we'll include that in the report, assuming we've already like reported on that host. But in short, it is created manually by everything that we've found with our own eyes, not just AI.
And then we got some questions about our team. How large is the team and what does the structure look like? And is there a dedicated analyst that gets assigned to a customer for an incident?
Yeah, all great questions. So, we do run a lean team. I found over my time here that no number is like a good number for everyone. Some people want like 25 people. So, we don't have that many, but I think our response times and resolution times speak for themselves. If you ever feel like, hey, this is not being worked on as quick as I want it to, let us know. But I think with the amount of people we have, we're doing a great job. So please let us know if you think otherwise. And then the other questions were
Is a dedicated analyst assigned?
um, so everyone on our team is senior level security analysts. We found that to be the best way to service all of the requests we get. So they're all senior expertise people that can help. So not necessarily a dedicated person, no. But like I said, there are some specializations. So if there's like a security architectural issue. We definitely have someone that will tap on the shoulder for that. Same with like the servers that are exposed to the internet and recommendations. We have a great set of people for that as well.
And what automated, you mentioned automated responses. What are some of the automated responses that the platform supports?
Yeah, so we just rolled it out, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago, but it covers our M365 detections primarily right now. I think there are about maybe 30 detections that are automated response. So basically, you click a button and it'll automatically isolate that host or that user in your M365 environment until you can remediate the issue and reset the passwords and all that fun stuff. So M365 right now, but it's top of mind to expand it to our other uh, data types and detections.
And then we got a another question in asking where they can learn more about the publicly exposed devices. I'll share it in chat as well as directly back to this querent. But that is going to be our domain security assessment. So if you just go to blumira.com/DSA, I'll paste it in both chats. You can get you just fill out the form there. You don't even have to be a Blumira customer. You just enter the information and a report will be generated for you. And that's going to give you not just what devices are exposed, but also kind of some recommendations and priority and what you can do to start remediating it. So I'll post that in just a second. And then this one's for you, Nick. Can
Yeah.
customers do a raw log search? Great question.
Yes, they can. Yep. In Report Builder, we're making it a little bit easier now. There's a little bit of so raw logs can be massive blocks of data. We're trying to make it a little bit easier as we speak. I think I don't want to make any promises on timing, but it's going to be even easier in the next coming month, I'll venture to say. So, yes and no. But if you do need help with that, reach out if you're a customer. If you're not a customer, it's definitely very soon that it'll be super easy.
And I do want to highlight, I know it was on one of your slides when we talk about having a year of retention for logs. I think it's also important to note that when you're doing an investigation and you're kind of trying to filter by those different criteria, trying to follow up on a piece of evidence, you are able to run those searches against that full year of history. It isn't a more recent period that's actively searchable. And for older data, you have to submit a help request. You're able to dynamically build those reports, either through the report builder, but usually more through Investigate, and look at that full year of context.
Yep, totally. And we also have a couple tools internally from the SecOps side. If you're looking at a lot of data at one time, we're happy to help with doing a little query magic on the back end to get some reports built for you if you need them.
Can we export logs? I know this has come up for folks that have very long retention requirements occasionally.
Yes, you can export logs. Again, if it's a lot of data, so big data is hard. No one in the industry has really figured out how to easily manage all this data at one time. But if you do have a lot of data, reach out to us. We can format it and export it to you as needed. But yes, from the report builder, you can export about 30 days worth of data.
And I know that you mentioned detection filters earlier, and we got a question about guidance on detection filters, which having a sneak preview, I know is one of the resources that you shared for us to send along for folks. But can you talk a little bit more about like where would a detection filter be helpful? Like, what's a common scenario where to get better actionable findings, someone may want to add a filter to a detection that they have in place?
Yeah, there are a ton of examples. One that comes to mind is when you know someone's traveling to let's say a new country they don't usually travel to, and you have an infrequent country sign in. That might be a good place to put that, even temporarily. If they're just traveling temporarily, you can remove the detection filter when they leave. There's also just a ton of like software that does crazy stuff. Like if you are a customer and you have like Ninja RMM, you know what I'm talking about. It's just I don't know why they do some of the things they do, like running like encoded PowerShell commands without you knowing. Like it's really interesting, but at some point you have to just tune out some of the things you know that are going to happen. I don't love tuning out RMM tools for the record in any shape or form because there have been breaches in the past that uh, involve RMM. So be very careful with those, I'll say. But there are just internal software that maybe you built that you're like, hey, yeah, I know it does like a batch script. Tuning out some of those batch script commands as well.
What is the average true positive and false positive rates on a monthly basis for an average MSP customer? I know that you can probably shoot from the hip with an estimate of this, but also I'll be happy to see if we can follow up and get a specific metric too.
Yeah, I really don't even want to guess, but I know we have the numbers based on people that have responded to workflows. So yes.
So that's a great question. Your question came through as anonymous, whoever sent that one. So if you want to add another question with your email, which will come to us privately, I will be happy to check and follow up with you on that. Any plans for time-based detection filters. Admins do an admin task at 2 p.m., not a concern, but at 2 a.m. it might be.
Yes, such a great idea. We have that feature coming down the pike. I have gotten a sneak peek into Detection Filters V2, and it is coming. That's a great one. I'd love to see that. Uh, V2 Detection Filters, hopefully coming in the next couple months. We'll chat with the product team, but yeah, great one.
Awesome. I think that I'm going to watch for email follow-up for that one question. But I think that as of now, we've gotten everybody else's. If there is anybody that I missed, please go ahead. You can add in the chat or in the Q&A. Otherwise, I just want to let everybody know, as mentioned, we will be sending a recording out tomorrow along with some additional resources that Nick recommended that he often shares with customers, including a guide on making the most out of detection filters. Um, I want to thank all of our attendees for joining today. I want to thank Nick for hopping on and sharing his expertise. Any final thoughts that you want to leave folks with today, or things that they can do today to help step up their own security operations?
Yeah, one little tidbit I forgot to mention is we ran a report of our top questions we received in Q1 revolving findings. So expect coming down the road here in-depth guides for findings that are creating a lot of questions. So I'm really excited for that, and some are published already, but we'll have a release for that soon too.
Which reminds me of the other thing that I forgot to mention, which is as soon as I end the webinar here, you will get an invitation for an anonymous survey. Just like the feedback that helped us make those guides on the most common questions that we get, we want to build resources to answer the questions you actually have. So if there's anything that you wish we had gotten more time to dive into today, another topic that you'd like to see on a future webinar, and if there is any other resources that you'd like to see us in the future, share in the future, definitely let us know. I'm glad that I held off because we did get one more question in. Shifting to sensors hosted by Blumira can be a good idea and maybe cost effective for customers. Making the product true SaaS and interesting. Is that something that you would consider? Oh, so basically they want virtual sensors that we would host,
Hmm.
I think.
We've talked about cloud-based sensors. I'd love them. Yeah, that would be nice. I don't know. We'd have to chat with the product team to see how far we're along on that idea. If that's what the question is. Yeah.
I believe so. I mean, typically, when we're using a virtual sensor, that is to help detect traffic on the local network. We typically cloud connectors would be how we would help to collect, ingest those logs for other hosted services. But if we're not speaking to the question that you were hoping to ask there, definitely we can follow up with you too. Sensor server not maintained and set up by us, but by Blumira. Um,
Mm,
and we got a question about our threat intel feeds.
yes. Yep. So we integrate with quite a few threat intel feeds. We look at domains and IPs that are bad, judging by what they've said. We also have customers like giving us awesome threat feeds to integrate with. So we've done that in the past as well. So we do have that option that automatically detect and block traffic. And I saw a question too. What was the talk about V2 detection filters? It's coming. Uh,
Yes.
it, it's coming. It's coming down the pike. I can't give any hard dates, but I will say it's definitely in development.
Excellent. All right. I think we got them all now. You will have an option in that field. If you think of something as soon as I hit end here, you can add that feedback there. So once again, thank you everybody for joining today. We look forward to seeing you on another Blumira educational session very soon. And until the next time we talk, stay safe out there, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.